Hello there everyone, and welcome back to the Classic Electrics channel. Here is an interesting little caller ID box. This thing was given to me by my grandparents after they stopped using it a month or two ago. Actually, no, it was last summer, but they gave it to me a month or two ago. And there's not too much information on this. This was made by the Kinstar Technology Corporation, and it's the model CD-95M. Looks like it may have been one of those things where different companies could buy them and have their own logos printed on here, because this is just like a blank space here, and it says in very simplistic printing, phone options, which is a really generic name. It only has 3 buttons: remove, review down, and review up. Unfortunately, although it takes the DC, the 7.5 the volts, it didn't come to me with a plug. And when I asked my grandmother about it, she said she had no idea where a plug could be. I also asked if she knew roughly when she got this, and she said it was maybe about 15 or 20 years ago. So this may not have been one of the first, caller ID boxes. It may have been a later era one. As you can see, it's also missing the screw for the battery cover. But thankfully, it does have a clip that allows it to stay in place. This is the battery that was plugged into it. Thankfully not a stupid Leica cell. I'm just trying not to be careful to bend these wires. Alright. Wow, it really doesn't want to fit in there. Okay, there we go. Okay, finally. It says low battery. And it also says no call. That is because this has a really interesting design where anytime that is just sitting here idle all the time, it displays the last incoming call. So I remember seeing this in their kitchen, just showing whoever last called. And then I don't know if there's a way to access a menu on this thing. Sometimes it involves pressing and holding multiple buttons. I think I tried this already, actually. Oh yes, there we go. So English. No call. How did I do that? Okay, that's really weird. Well, alright, I have no idea. Oddly enough, it also doesn't say low battery anymore. So I don't know what's going on with this thing. Oh, there we go. think that's it. It just switches the language. Oddly enough, I think the language would only control two things. This screen here, which would say no call, or the end of list screen. Alright, so seems to be a very simple device. I know it works since they had it plugged into their phones. So let's just give this a test call. That way we can see whether or not this has call waiting ID. So first I'm just going to call it like this, and you'll hear my other phones ringing, and then this will confirm that it does indeed work. Or not, because apparently I need to learn how to use the equipment. Alright. So there it is. And I don't think it's ever actually going to stop displaying this. Huh, it's 2:52 p.m. on 2/25. So there, as you can see, it says end of list. And then if we wait a few seconds, I think it just goes back to the last entry in the list, instead of going to some kind of idle mode. Alright, so what I'm going to do next is plug in this other phone I have here. This is a Panasonic. Whoops, let's drop the cord. A Panasonic KXTGE 475S base. And this will let us confirm that this, whether or not this has call waiting ID. Okay. Whoops. Jeez. These calls are not going so well today.
The number you have reached, 605
Alright, let's call it up.
767 2676. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your
So unfortunately, it
call
looks like this does not have call waiting ID.
The number you have reached, 60.
I did already hang up. Let's just see if Flash
Please
works.
enter a
It does.
6. Is
So,
not in.
looks like this is just a single standard caller ID box. I guess it's type 1 caller ID. It does at least have a neat remove animation. But it's really not of much use to me since I have so many other type 1 caller ID phones. And what I really need in a caller ID box is type 2 caller ID, so that I can plug in my non-caller ID phones and not have to worry about not knowing who's calling when I'm on the phone. Using one of those phones, I mean. So in this case, I will probably end up selling this, which I did tell my grandmother before she gave it to me, by the way, and she said it was fine either way. So that'll be it for this video, and thank you for watching.